Hey, welcome back to What's in the Box. Today we'll be reviewing NECA's Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger figure. Now, you probably noticed from my haul video, one of the very first videos I posted, I got a ton of figures in, and this was one of them. Uh, During the time I was having some camera trouble and quality issues, I tried to review this figure something like 5 times. So here we are, lucky number 6. Let's hope. Um, I would say I'm a fairly big Freddy fan. Of course, there are a number of franchises in the series of slashers in the 80s that I do like. Of course, Nightmare being one, Friday, Hellraiser, pretty much all the classic iconic slashers. Freddy probably equals Jason for me, kind of, sort of. They kind of switch places depending on who's playing the part or what film or all of that. But yeah, Freddy's up there for me, and so I kind of look forward to digging into this one. I have several other Freddy figures, and I will get into those eventually as well. We will pretend like I haven't opened this several times before, and I'll show you what's in the box. So here we have the Ultimate Freddy. What I like about the Ultimates line is there's generally a ton of accessories. When it comes to Freddy, this particular one from the first Nightmare, not so many. But it's kind of hard to guess or estimate what fans would like the most from this first film. You have 2 extra heads, you have 1 extra hand, and have a phone accessory and a stick-on face accessory. And of course his hat, which is already on the figure. Now the sculpt is pretty solid. You can see from these other heads. It does look like Robert to a good degree from the first film. Freddy's look in that first film was a lot less like the classic look we've grown to know. He was much darker skin tone. There wasn't so much of a pizza face. There was, but there wasn't. And it had a lot to do with charring and burning more than the pattern that he would have later on. As a matter of fact, in some of the film stills, this right side ear was just black, like charcoal. But yeah, it captures that fairly well with a dark brown wash. No real black, but it's so dark that it works for this. You of course get a skinned head Freddy face. This is actually really well done. The eyes are very prominent. The teeth, you can even see the blood and the muscle underneath. So I like that head quite a bit. Probably wouldn't display him with that. He does come with a skinned face that fits over that. And it's kind of tough to get situated because it just kind of grips onto the edge of the head, and as you can see, I'm kind of struggling with it, but there you go. I want to say this is Tina's face. Remind me in the comments if I'm wrong. The sculpt for Tina is okay. It's a little mannish, even despite the paint job. I think if they'd added a little more blushy colors and stuff like that, it'd look a little more feminine, but decent. I would probably display that head without the skin and just leave the skull if I put that on the toy at all. And then of course we have a smiling head here. I would say I probably prefer this one over the other 2 heads. Matter of factly, this may be the one that I display the figure with. Also decent paint job, of course, in the little burnt areas you can see skin and a little bit of blood and pinky color there. Now the one big gripe I have is with the hands. Now of course you have this human hand on the left, and it's not even remotely colored like the head. That's a big problem. Even bigger problem is the fact that his extra hand is just pitch black. Just, I mean, look at that compared to the two. So that's a pretty big issue. This doesn't match the head either. What I would suggest for collectors is you do up a dark brown wash and just wash over this skin tone hand. And then you take some flesh tone and you just dry brush over the darkened skin on this hand. It's a neat hand despite that. It has the blood squirt from it. You know the scene where Freddy's kind of cutting his fingers off. I believe he's doing a countdown or something. But yeah, a nice little green splurt of Freddy blood there. One of the neater accessories that comes with this set is the Freddy phone. Of course, we know this scene. Any fan knows this scene quite well. The paint's done pretty well on this. I think I personally would have preferred slightly lighter blue, but can't nitpick it too much. The phone is actually pretty accurate. I've made one of these in full scale, and so they got that right. And of course, that's where he says the famous line, "I am your boyfriend now, Nancy." And then, of course, we have Freddy's hat. It's kind of black in color with some gray highlighting. Now, I know Robert kind of gave Freddy a slight lean, as if the glove was heavy on his hand. By the way, the glove's pretty well done. It's just not easy to see the copper in the fingers. But Freddy here kind of has a pretty hard gangster lean, which is amusing to me. I don't know if you could straighten that up some, but as he comes from the package, he's kind of a little bit he's pimping it a little. Even with the hat has this curl along the outer edge. I don't know if that's accurate to the movie or not, but it all kind of makes me laugh, really. But yeah, pretty good figure. Again, kind of lacking accessory wise when compared to others, but this is an older figure, and I don't know if NECA had kind of set the standard yet for Ultimates. But yeah, if you like the first Friday maybe, here I go, I'm thinking Jason. But if you like the first Elm Street movie, you'll like this figure. You can still pick it up on eBay and various other places for about $30. So nice little figure, and he'll look good along with all my other horror characters. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, and as I said, this is NECA's Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy figure.